What is up, guys? My name is Greg. I'm a digital artist, and I'm here today to talk to you about hilarious art in Magic the Gathering. Today's theme is the color blue. We're talking blue cards, not just counter spells. We're getting into the nitty-gritty sea creatures and the outrageous art that comes with them. So with all that said, let's get started. So the first card I'm talking about today is gross. It is a slug-like, fish-like creature, but they actually call it a beast. This card is Riptide Mangler. Now, Riptide Mangler has only been printed once in Legions. It's a 2-mana 0/3 with the ability to change its power and toughness to match that of another creature, which is kind of cool. When I first took a look at the art of this piece, I thought its claws at the top of its head were actually eyes, but if you look closely, if we zoom that in, you'll actually see that they're sort of razor-sharp claws, and he's got his eyes at the back of his head. I think my favorite part about this card has to be the flavor text. It wants you to be its chum. The next card I'm talking about is also a beast, but it appears to be some sort of two-headed dragon contraption. This card has been printed 3 times starting in the 7th edition with 2 different artist renditions. This card is Makkor. Now, Makkor is a 5-drop 3/3 with flying with the ability to ping a creature or a player for 1 damage. Not a great card comparatively to even the last card that we looked at, but the art on this is spectacular. If we dig in and take a little bit of a look at this, we see the sort of 2-headed dragon-ish creature that's floating. There's really no wings or anything that seems to be causing it to float. It just does. And it's floating over some sort of a cracking plane. I don't know if it possesses the power to cause earthquakes or if that is just sort of the reaction that the Earth has to its gravitational pull. Regardless, the flavor text in this is also impeccable. Neither head holds a brain. That's located somewhere in its chest. But 4 eyes aim much better than 2. So the idea of aiming, I guess, has to play into its ability where it can ping a creature or a player for 1 damage. Once again, it's kind of a piece of art that until I zoomed it in, I didn't really see it for its full potential. When it's zoomed in, you can clearly see the eyes and the heads, and I definitely thought it looked a lot more goofy than when you actually zoom into it. Pretty outrageous card, given the fact that it's a 2-headed beast that floats over top of land and can just, shoot things. But the art that came out in the Tempest remastered version is actually a lot more terrifying. So we see the same card, it has the same ability, same cost, has the ability to damage 1 target creature or player, but it is just one massive mouth, no teeth, just mouth and throat. And it now has wings and is just cruising through the sky like a blimp. This is terrifying. This is not the kind of thing that I would like to see if I were in a heated battle fighting against mages and ogres and goblins, and all of a sudden this battle cruiser of a beast just comes out of nowhere with its giant mouth and swallows everyone up like a pelican. From its maw comes neither word nor whisper, only wind. Let's move on. So this next card constantly makes me laugh. This is an enchantment card that's only been printed once in Nemesis. I'm probably going to mispronounce it, but I'll give it a shot. This is Ether Barrier. Now this card's art makes me laugh for one reason and one reason only. Look at its face. If you take a look at the zoomed in version here, you get this crab creature with these beady little eyes and this little smirk. Kind of looks like the face of an axolotl. This little underwater salamander, except this is a crab creature with really beefy legs. This guy did not skip leg day. However, it's claws are on its head and it has the ability to sort of warp water in order to protect. Whenever a player plays a creature spell, that player sacrifices a permanent unless he or she pays 1. Kind of a cool enchantment for 3, forcing people to pay more for any of their creature spells. But once again, this flavor text just keeps pulling me in. Creatures fade in and out of existence. It's an unfortunate side effect. The losses are tolerable. That crab do not care. Let's move on to our 4th and final card. This card is the card of the day. Card of the day. This card's the card of the day for a number of reasons. Flavor text, on point. Art, outstanding. only been printed once, one artist version of it. This card is Araxid. Araxid seems to me like the kind of beast that would live in like an underwater utopia like Atlantis as a prisoner. And then once they had somebody that, was imprisoned, they would have to fight it in front of everybody for like public morale. It's quite an outrageous looking thing, this sort of beastie crab with eyes on the side of its head. For any of you that have watched the Netflix series Farzar, this screams Billy to me.
You look like a baby, but you sound like a man.
We even had these little underwater folk, perhaps merfolk. They look a little bit more goblinish than anything. Hanging on this guy, my guess is they're trying to direct him towards where he needs to fight, because how can you see when your eyes are on the side of your head? So he's like, I'm good to go left and right, but I need y'all to help me move forward. Even at the core of the world, we can still get God's unruly mistakes. And with all that said, that concludes today's outrageous Magic the Gathering art for the color blue. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And for any suggestions about Magic the Gathering art that I should take a look at, please be sure to comment below. Have a great day, and we'll catch y'all soon.